And there we go. We're live. Look at that.
Woohoo!
It's another episode of Tuesday Night Dreaming, and we have one of our classic guests on tonight. This is super fun. I always love spending time with the person next to me on the video screen, and that is Cherie Trent from New Zealand. I was
So
just
good.
commenting about just how much I appreciate your accent. And yeah, so it's wonderful
John
to have
Paul
you back, Cherie.
Yeah, thank you. John Paul used to like the accent too, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, we like people that we're Christians, so we like people that are different than us. We don't want
Yeah.
everybody to be the same. We like people that are different. Yeah, so it's
Cool.
so welcome to Tuesday Night Dreaming, everybody. And as you see, we have a wonderful guest tonight, and so if you take a second to like the video, share the video, as with every Tuesday, post your comments or post your questions in the comments. And if you have a dream that you'd like us to look at, post that in the comments as well. We'll do our best to get that. And make sure that, well, we asked for shorter dreams. And so if you can make it a shorter dream, that'd be wonderful. The reason behind asking for shorter dreams is that we also want to be able to get to as many dreams as possible, and we don't want to spend the whole hour interpreting one dream. Making it more fair for everybody. So take a second, share the video, and why don't you, if you are just tuning in, give us a comment. Let us know where you're coming in from, because I know most of the people that are jumping on, but Cherie doesn't, and so she'll be able to see where people are coming in from. And so I know we have, I think it's Christy Harvey is in your neck of the woods.
Yes.
And so I know we've got a couple people that are going to be from around where you're at, Cherie.
Yeah, that'd be great. Now, Josh.
Yes.
You called me in your thing. I'm just noticing you've called me Cherie TrentGraner. Now that's a great compliment.
That may just be a mistake. You are not Cherie Trent. I will fix that.
So that is your guest from last week, who I love, Christy Grainer.
Yes, a great mutual friend of both of ours, right? Christy Grainer.
Absolutely. I remember sitting in
time. Yeah, we had a great time with Christy last week, and she just had John Thomas in with her, actually.
Very cool.
Just a week or so ago, I think John was spending some time in Minnesota with them, or just outside of Minnesota. So yeah, that's wonderful. So yes, it's a compliment to you, and it's also a compliment to Christy. So
yeah, we love Christy. I was just telling my students to follow you guys and John and Christy. It's so fun being part of a family around the world, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah, it really is. Again, just one more time, welcome to Tuesday Night Dreaming. People are jumping on. We've got a couple dreams that are docked up. I've noticed some people have commented some dreams. If you have a dream, please throw it into the comments. If you have a question, especially as it relates to one of the things that Cherie is heavily involved in, is intercession and prophetic art, prophetic ministry, that kind of stuff. So maybe you have a question revolving around some of those topics too. We can kind of run the gamut with that. I mean, when it comes to prophetic art, it is very akin to the nature of dream interpretation as well, because you're interpreting the symbols and imagery and trying to represent that as well. So I know you run classes on prophetic art, you teach prophetic art, you train and mentor people in not just prophetic art, prophecy, intercession, that kind of stuff. So you got your hands in a lot of different places.
It's fun. I love it. Yeah, because it's cross training as well. So like you say, there's a lot of skill plus being with the Lord and in the flow.
Yeah, that's right. There is. That's right. Very, very good. Okay, so let's see. What do we got here? We've got, did I get a chance to look at the dream you messaged me, Annette? Annette, can you, I don't know that I did get that.
Maybe she can copy and paste it somewhere.
Yeah, can you copy it? Can you comment it comment it, and we'll see if we can get to it.
Oh, Ingrid, hi.
And yeah, it's wonderful to see everybody. Okay, so first question is yes, Lola, I got yours for sure. So we will we'll get to yours, Lola.
This is a pancake dream. That's cool.
Yeah, so
mainly because I like pancakes.
Yeah, well, we do like pancakes. That's right. Let's see. Do we have Josh Sissons on? I know Josh had posted a dream a couple weeks ago, and he and his wife come and go in terms of being here. So okay, Annette, great. So Josh, if you're on, we can look at your dream. If not, we'll get straight to Chris Rachette's dream, and just now this is I think you would call it, maybe this is the wrong term, super meta, wrong terminology. Anyway, Chris Rachette, who is a dear old friend of Aaron and I, he interned with Streams Ministries with us as well way back in the day.
Wow.
And Chris was my roommate for a little while.
Cool.
Just so we have Chris on here, and then we have Lola on here, who came and visited Streams. And Chris, who I remember Lola, because Lola also goes by the name TT. And so Chris was around in our intern program when TT came and visited for a little while. So and so maybe they would recommend. They're both of them are on the stream, so that's kind of funny.
It's so cool. It is really a family. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's right. And Renee has had a day. Renee, where's the hello? I don't see the hello.
She's got chocolate cookies. Renee has chocolate cookies, and she's ready to enjoy.
Yeah,
hanging out with us.
Good. Yeah. Okay. So I don't see Josh Sissons jumping on. If he jumps on, we'll get to it. So yeah. Sorry. Hi, mouthful of cookie. Yeah.
There's a lot of happy people on here, so that's lovely. Yeah. Let's have a good God time, because he is doing stuff. It doesn't, and there's lots of stuff happening peripherally that the enemy's trying to do, but God is definitely.
Yeah. Don't take your eyes off of what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's very easy to get distracted and take your eyes off of what he's doing and try and figure it out on your own, but we can't figure it out on our own. So yeah, hang on to his coattails. He's getting ready to do some good stuff.
Karina, hi Karina.
So okay. We've got Chris Rachette's dream. All right.
Yeah. Put it up, or do I read it?
I've got it up. I will read it for you, and for us, and then I don't know if you'll be able to read it. It's quite small.
I can see it. Yep.
Okay, good. And so I'll read it. We'll just talk through it and go from there. So Chris had a dream. I actually haven't read this dream at all, so hopefully it's appropriate. Chris Rachette, I had a dream. I'm just digging at Chris because I know him. I had a dream. I was living in West Berlin. The wall was right in my house. I had just moved in, and there was a fireplace-looking hole in the wall that we were breaking down, and the other side was bricking back up. Some people were worried about getting drop foot. This is where if you were kicking the bricks with your feet to knock them out, your counterpart on the other side would pinch your foot in there, and you would be stuck unless someone could knock away the brick that pinched you. I was using a hammer and wondered why they wouldn't just use a hammer. There was other stuff to do there, like watch television, etc. But when I found out about the hole, I gave it all my attention until I opened the hole to my counterpart. Once the hole was open, there was a scene where so let's do this. Let's break that apart. Once the hole was open, there was a scene where we were attached with some sort of a bomb with a distance limiting range to where we were assigned. I could minimize the size of it by twisting and crushing it like a can. At the end, there was a battle scene where all of us, the royal family, let's get this here. The royal family had the amazing robes and fancy guns with strings of ammunition lining up for the final battle on top of what looked like a volcano versus these giants. Well,
I love this.
That went so epic.
I love this. This is the meta narrative, right?
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, that's right. This is
the meta narrative.
So Chris does not live in Berlin, by the way. Chris lives in Western Canada, which Berlin Wall, Western Canada. Well, anyway, we won't go there. What are your thoughts, Cherie?
I think it's wonderful. Oh, it's such a dream full of hope that there are people assigned to different things, and some of them are looking more useful than others. But there's people there releasing vision and people there doing different stuff that's actually growing up sons in the kingdom into royalty, and it's for a purpose. It's actually to bring freedom, but it's a freedom for the kingdom. That there's a kingdom connection. It's a God dream because of the royalty stuff, and it has such hope in it. There is going to be, if you keep going, there is going to be the last scene promises this finale.
Yeah, that's right. I wonder I just want to clarify with Chris. I completely agree, Cherie. That's wonderful because there's such a breakthrough in the dream, also, right? Yeah. I love that first scene where one side is trying to brick back up, but Chris, once he realizes there's going to, essentially there's going to be division here. We're going to have people on this side and people on this side. Chris puts all of his energy towards breaking down the wall that would divide, and creating an opening to the counterpart on the other side of the wall. And so even though there could be distractions in life, all that kind of stuff, Chris in his call is to break down those walls that would divide people, the barriers that would divide people, and create openings where people can reconnect. That's the part of that walking things out in a kingdom way. And so, Chris, one of the questions I have is, with the bomb that who was your counterpart? Did you know who the counterpart was? Was it just you knew there was was there a carbon copy of you on the other side of the wall, or was it someone else that you were assigned to or connected with? And then I'm assuming that when the hole was open, it was you and your counterpart that were attached to a bomb. And what were you do you know what the purpose of the bomb was? Was it you were going to use the bomb for something? It was an instrument of war you were going to use, or it was something that was going to blow up and take you guys out with it? What happened with the bomb, or what was going to happen with the bomb? What was the purpose of the bomb? Because I don't think anything shows us further down, except for the fact that he gets to the final scene is we're going to have a showdown. And now I love that we're the royal family.
Yeah. There's this whole sonship thing, and you actually get an upgrade. So the more you keep going, you're going to get upgrades in what you're given.
Yeah. So if Chris, we've got a little bit of a delay. So if Chris could answer those questions, and we can see.
It's interesting that some people were doing the drop kicks and kicking the bricks with their feet, but he was using a hammer.
Yeah, right.
So and he wondered why they didn't use hammers. So there's some things that are easier to do than others. Like we have supernatural.
Yeah, that they would get there in trying to clear. The bomb was like a retaliation from the other side when we made breakthrough. Okay, so so the question is then, does someone on the communist side, were you opening the hole so that they could come through, so that they could get out of the communist side? That's what it sounds like then to me. And then the communist side tried to retaliate. So but you could minimize. Okay, I see. So they tried to retaliate, but you knew how to minimize the size of the retaliation by crushing it. Okay. Yes. I love that. I love that as well. There's a whole nother issue of living as a disciple of Christ, recognizing that when the enemy attempts to retaliate, you can crush it. trying to free them. Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, so Chris, you've found yourself in situations where there's been division placed between people based on, the Berlin Wall was divided over, it was an ideological divide, and that's what it represents in the dream anyway. There's an ideological divide that you've done work to try and bring other people through. You've opened communication lines there, and the enemy doesn't like it. The enemy's tried to retaliate, but you understand the principle of warfare, and so you've been able to mitigate the kind of damage that would come to the people that you're walking with. And again, like Cherie said, there's this upgrade to I love that you're all wearing amazing robes with fancy guns. Like you're so well equipped to fight the fight that's in front of you.
And the giants, right? That's just a reference to even like David and Goliath. And
yeah, that's right.
What seems, God has given you grace in this dream to know you will win.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. You'll have the amazing robe, so you're going to have the authority. You'll have the equipment. You'll have the power. All these things to be able to face down the giants in the land.
What do you think about Josh? That at the beginning, there's like he's got the hammer, but other people are doing the drop kicks, and visions. But he's like, why aren't they? Like there is an easier way with the hammer. So God's given him grace with the hammer, but at the end, everybody's coming together.
Yeah, I think that is, well, let me put it, Chris is recognizing in that better ways of doing this, better ways of breaking down the wall, breaking down the thing that divides us. Other people are doing it in a way that's less efficient. And well, Chris's question, we'll get to that in a second. And so he's recognizing the need for different strategies.
Yeah,
is what he's recognizing. And so it doesn't say it in the dream that he helps other people find their hammers.
No, but
I would hypothesize a guess that Chris is called to help other people find strategic ways of breaking down the walls that divide.
Yeah, it may be just by modeling and who he is, because at the end, the royal family, those who've been chosen to be sons, right, of that sonship, the who is sons of God, that all of creation cries out for, they get the Joseph robes, they get those robes, and so that's pretty amazing. He's going to find himself in a team, so where he might feel a little bit isolated, he's going to find himself in a team where they're all on the same page.
Yeah, and he has a question, and this is a good question because it's written out a little bit differently. He says, the thing I'm most curious about was why the bomb had a proximity sensor to where I made the breakthrough. So, okay, so I'm assuming he's referencing this part here. So the bomb, so clarify this for me, Chris. The bomb is attached to the hole that you guys created, or the bomb is attached to you? And can you clarify that? Which one? Great to see you, Alvin, of course. And Alvin said he came on because Cherie was going to be on. And
no, Alvin.
Yes, Alvin, I will forgive you for that comment. So yeah, I'm just trying to clarify what's going on exactly right there, because I thought I understood it, but then your question makes me, Chris's question makes me question it. Was the bomb on you, and if you got close to the hole again, then it was going to blow up? What, like, can you clarify what was going on there? Maybe rephrase that.
And it's a bomb for them to throw to do damage, or is the bomb trying to do damage to them?
Yeah, what's exactly, is the bomb trying to do damage to the wall? Is it trying to do damage to you? It sounds like, based on the question, there's a bomb there that once attached to me, I could only go a certain distance from the hole in the wall, well, without it detonating. Okay, so it was attached to you, and then but you could walk away from the situation. But if you walked away from the situation, you got too far away, it was going to detonate. But you knew you could adjust the bomb so that it would minimize any of the impact. Is that correct? So if you walked farther away, you could adjust things within the bomb so that it wouldn't necessarily hurt as much. Is that correct? That's the question. So do you see Chris's comment there, Cherie?
No.
Once attached to me, I can only go.
Okay. Yeah. And then can we go down to that last sentence again? Because I think God's going to turn this around. Because we had la 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 lining up. Okay. Right. Okay. So I think this is a justice issue.
Yeah. Yes. Correct. He could, if he walked away, he could minimize the impact of it. He says, yes, correct. He could minimize the impact of it. So if it went off, it wouldn't hurt like it was going to, like the enemy had intended it to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's in one sense, there's a call on Chris's life to bring, well, not in one sense, in a direct sense, there's a call on Chris's life to bring freedom and bring other people into a place of kingdom family and royal family, really, right? Mm-hmm. Which is kingdom family. And the backlash for bringing people into freedom is much less severe than you would think or than you anticipated. And so, you dig the hole in the wall, you get people free, you walk away from it, and you go, oh, there's consequences for doing that. Whether it's the enemy attacking, whatever it happens to be, I helped those people, and now I'm going to have to pay a price for it. But God's showing you that the price you would have to pay, the pain of walking away from it, is you actually have it within yourself to minimize that.
Yeah.
And you're going to bring people into this amazing place of authority and power. So yeah. Okay. Anything to add there?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about justice. Yes. It's yeah, so the enemy's going to try and destroy stuff, but you can ask for that ahead of time and say, and pray, and say, okay, so, and you can look through the justice scriptures and John Paul Jackson's teaching on justice, obviously, but when you see the thief trying to steal, how many sheep or cows, you can ask for that many more.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Right. So if you catch a thief in the act, and so you've caught the thief trying to hold you to this bomb that wants to detonate, you can twist and minimize that by this prayer. So I'd encourage you to go into the justice scriptures and the justice teaching.
Yeah, on some level, people. I'm not saying that there's this belief out there that if in doing the thing I'm called to do, breaking down the barrier, opening things up, I'm going to get severe backlash. I'm going to be hurt. I'm going to be wounded. The enemy's going to attack me, all that kind of stuff. And even if there is that, then there's always justice. But I love a guy that helped both Chris and I in our spiritual growth. He used to say, if God orders the pizza, he'll pay the bill.
Yeah.
And so in one sense, in this dream, it's going, the backlash that seems like it would happen, the attack of the enemy will be less severe than you've been.
And what happens? They get robes and they get upgrades.
Exactly. If it happens, they get, exactly. That's right.
It's almost like the bomb is a lie to put. So there's a call. So in the stream we have a call. You are called to bring breakthrough. And you also have discernment and wisdom to see what other people are doing. And then there's the challenge. If I walk away from the situation, will it detonate and just blow up or whatever?
Right.
And then there's the provision. God is going to put you with, sons of the kingdom together. And I mean that with all genders, female and male.
Yes.
So,
yeah, that's right.
And you guys are made for it. You are made for this time, Chris. We just bless you for that. You are made for this time. You have what it takes, and God is saying that.
Yeah, and there you go. If you see Chris's comment there, thanks for clarifying those parts. Incredibly relevant to what we've been praying into and hoping to experience soon. That's wonderful. Okay, let's see. Let's go. We will probably get to that pancake dream, but let's do Christy Harvey's dream.
Cool.
Okay, Christy. She titled this "Keeping a Wolf Out with 3 Locks." I was in an open plan house on a hill. It had a lot of big windows near the sea. There was a walkway around the house, around the hill, and a house. Or there's a walkway around the hill and house called the Circle of Life. That's and let's just put that in there. Hill and house called the Circle of Life. Wow, I like that so far. I was in the house with a younger girl, and a wolf appeared at the window looking at me. I got a fright. The big sliding door was open, and I ran and closed it. And I locked it. The lock seemed faulty and not very secure. I stood back watching the wolf. It was just watching me. I then went back and pushed up the deadbolt at the back of the door. Then I started turning these dials and cogs. It was a big metal contraption attached to the back of the sliding door that tightened up the door as the big sliding door seemed flimsy. It secured and tightened the door. Okay.
Good dream.
Yeah, it is a good dream. Yeah. You know, you don't like seeing wolves trying to stare in at you. But you do like the fact that at the end, everything's secure.
Yeah.
Any thoughts, Cherie?
Yeah, it seems that this dream, Christy, is about your life, and that you have been shutting the access ways to the enemy getting in and trying to get a foothold. So well done. You've been alert to that, and there's some strengthening. There might be some strengthening that still needs to happen. Is there a door that's flimsy? But I think it looks like there's that you're paying attention to all that stuff. So that's really good.
Yeah, and oftentimes a wolf, using the words of Jesus, of course, where he called he told his disciples, of course, to be conscientious of the Pharisees, these people that would offer false teaching, and they would disguise themselves as sheep, but they were actually wolves. And so a lot of time a wolf can represent some kind of teaching that you're going, there's something wrong with this. And so I wonder if Christy, you've been recognizing some of the influences and going, I don't want that in here. That's not supposed to be in here. That's not helpful. That's not what I want in here. And, this kind of things that stir up fear is what a wolf would be, right? And so then you've got the enemy attacking in there. So you've been conscientious about not allowing those kind of things in and shutting those things out. I love that there's a walkway around the hill in the house called the Circle of Life.
Yeah, so good.
And the fact, this isn't a major part of the dream, but the fact that you're in an open plan house on a hill with big windows near the sea means you're in a really good place. Like this open plan house, there's lots of freedom to explore in an open plan house. Beautiful vistas. You're able to see far distances. and you're surrounded by life, you're surrounded by these things. And so in that place, when anything comes against you, it's easy to go, that's no good, I'm not letting that in here.
That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's got a lot of vision.
Yeah, that's right.
Clarity, able to see vision. Yeah. And what's going on in the world. She's near the sea, maybe.
Yeah, she said, Christy says, cool. Thank you. That's so cool.
So good. God bless you, Christy.
Right. Okay, let's see. There was one here. Deanna, right here. Deanna Ruppersberger. Nice and short one. Floating. I'm watching myself and a nice like you're watching yourself and niece. Is that a niece? Is that what that's supposed to be? Is that a niece floating in water?
Yeah, it might be because we're smiling. There's a plural.
Yeah, that's what it. Yeah. So maybe Deanna can. We're smiling. They're plural. So niece. There she goes. Yeah, I'm watching myself and a niece floating in water, looking to our right, and we're smiling.
To our right. Nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's a great dream or vision, whichever one it is. Yeah.
Josh and I'll have that one. Thanks. Yeah.
What's that? Yeah, we'll have that one too. Yeah.
That one. Yeah. It's the ability to be able to relax, don't you think, Josh, in the spirit?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes,
and just have faith, and you're together with someone else, and it's just family.
Yeah, and it could be maybe. I mean, it could represent her niece. Not knowing the situation, the kind of relationship she has with her niece. But a niece, this is extended family, which is what a niece is, extended family. So this could very well be. My computer's acting up. I can hear it making some strange noises. That's no good.
Is it the heartbeat? Is that what I could hear?
Yeah, it might be the heartbeat. It's making some strange noises. We'll see if we make it through this whole. If I just disappear on this live stream, you can.
Is it prophetic? Computer. We need to pray for the heartbeat.
Yeah.
of people.
I think it's the fan on the computer. Anyway. So Deanna, you're in an environment that's very conducive to being comfortable in the Holy Spirit, moving in spiritual things. And there's family around you that are very, they're very comfortable in that as well. And very content, very peaceful. And the fact that you're looking to the right, what did you think about that? Looking to the right, Cherie? You said something about faith. Is that what you were?
Yeah, they're just starting to, wanting vision for faith and strength.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're able. Yeah, moving in a place of faith and strength in the Holy Spirit. Yeah.
I think they're being able to be held up by the Spirit, because not everybody finds it easy to float on the water.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I know that. We've just been having our kids going through swimming lessons. So one of them has taken to it and one of them has not. The older one actually is the one that hasn't taken to it. So let's see. Deanna says nice. Okay, let's see. We've got some more dreams up here. Cherie, what do you got going on with Stream Specific?
Wow. I'm just brainstorming with a few friends and the Lord about mentoring and how to grow Stream Dream pods through New Zealand in this time, and looking at creating booklets to help people advance in that.
Right.
Yeah, so we've got resources in Streams Ministries International that are fabulous, and on the website with them. And you guys, you've written some great ones, right, with Win Ministries.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to look at prophetic art and creative journaling with God, and journaling your dreams and praying through your dreams. Going to look at developing resources in that area. And so
that's
I've got
wonderful.
A lot of teaching and written workshops and run workshops on those already. So it's just putting those into manual format and getting them out. So I think it's about, so I've got 3 words on my heart right now. I feel like the Lord is saying to me that we're in a time of awakening, we're in a time of the, releasing the kingdom and the kingdom age bursting through in a new way. And it's a very uncomfortable time in the world.
Yeah, it is.
None of us deny that. But there is this thing that God is wanting to birth in us. And it's about this sonship royalty. What does it really, really look like? And just, I think, taking our blinkers off about what we thought, and really God is giving us a new framework for this going forward. So I don't think it's even fully realized yet, but this is in the heart of God.
Right.
That's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm sensing. Josh, what about you?
I'm sensing, I'm trying to find the dreams that we're going to interpret next.
Sorry. Okay, shall I keep talking then?
A couple of there's been a couple that have been sent in that are quite long, so I don't know that we'll be able to get to those.
Patty says, cool. Hey, well, we've got the pancake dream from the beginning somewhere with a net, haven't we?
I was just looking for that one. Let's do here. There's a couple other ones that we're going to do because those dreams are quite long.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
So
we've got some people loving this idea of what I just talked about, so that's cool. I'll put love heart in the comments.
And there's a link in the video description to the Stream Specific website. So you can go to the Stream Specific website, and if you're not following Cherie through either her personal Facebook page or the Stream Specific Facebook page, you should do that, because you talk about these things. You go live and talk about these things and the dreams that God has been speaking to you through, and various different things like that. I know you go live frequently.
I'm going to try and go live more because, I just had a dream, and this man just said the city needs to hear your voice too, Cherie. I'm like, okay, yes. Yeah. Right. And it's just really like, there is stuff that he's talking to us about, and we need to encourage people out there. Yeah. He is doing a lot. He's preparing a lot of people's hearts. Yeah. And I think dreams is a wonderful way to encourage people in that too.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, as far as it, you'd ask me what is, in my opinion, what's going on. And
what the Lord's talking to you about, maybe.
Yeah, what's the Lord talking to me about? And it's been one is just I don't want to say the need to hunker down, but when I say that, I mean the need to keep my eyes on him, walking with him.
Yeah.
And to constantly be transformed into his image, and not get distracted by all the stuff that's happening around, and not get my eyes off of that place. And so being captivated by the beauty of Christ is the constant pursuit. And when it comes to, in the sense of what's he doing in the season, I would just go back basically to the same thing the Lord's been speaking to me about for the last 4 years, which is he's purging the church of the idols we worship.
Yeah.
He's keeping our eyes fixed on him, and he's calling us to be moved only by him and not by the stuff around us. And I've been talking about that for a while. We've put videos out on that, and the whole thing about removing the influence of Baal worship in our midst. And as much as we don't like to admit it, we've created structures within our churches and within our ministries and within our lives that give room for spiritual influences that don't lead us to good places. Yeah. And this is a season to get rid of that junk. We don't need it.
So I think I love that, Josh, because I was listening to John Thomas the other day at a Streams gathering. It was probably 2 Streams gatherings ago, and he was saying that, or maybe it was the last one, in the last month, that apparently it took at least 2 years for the plagues of Moses to happen. It wasn't just over a week. So we can read the Bible, right, that whole part over a week, and we feel like, wow, boom. But it was actually releasing, I think it was releasing not just the hold of the gods of Egypt over Egypt and showing it, but it was releasing even the Israelites. Well, it was giving them an invitation.
Yeah, that's right.
To come out of adhering to them or worshiping them. So that's every sphere. I feel like in every sphere, God is shaking and saying, what does kingdom look like in that sphere now?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's absolutely. Yeah. He's doing some stuff. I mean, it's uncomfortable, right? I mean, look at the Israelites when they left Egypt. It was uncomfortable. They didn't like it. A lot of them complained and they wanted to go back. That was more comfortable. We were more comfortable being enslaved than we were being free.
Yeah.
And, I suspect that in the next few years, we're probably going to have that mentality crop up it was way more comfortable having all of our systems. It was way more comfortable having all of our government support. It was way more comfortable having the ability to influence a culture, all that stuff.
Do you remember Keith Green's song?
Which one? I know. I remember a lot
I want to
of
go
them.
back to Egypt.
Yes. Oh man, Keith Green sings. That guy got away with saying some of the most cutting things, the most beautiful melodies.
Yeah.
I do know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what do you think about? I heard yesterday a Bible teacher say that there's a possibility that only 20%. He said in the Torah or one of those, maybe it was the oral traditions, that not every Israelite left Egypt. They didn't all want to go.
Oh, right. I mean, I guess it's possible. I haven't read that, so I don't know, but you'd have.
So that
it wouldn't be in the Torah. That would be in the Midrash or the Mishnah. All those, all those extra biblical things. I mean, there's
an interesting thought.
Yeah, it is, and there's definitely interesting things to look at in those, and some of those are deeply historical. Those works. But yeah, I couldn't comment on that specifically because I haven't heard that one. So, but maybe who knows? Maybe some of them actually left and tried to go back.
Yeah,
the way that they were talking about. It's one of the things that's interesting. Actually, I'll say this and then we'll get to the next stream. When it comes to when the Israelites reached the Promised Land, there's this thing that transpires. It's like 38 years into the journey, something like that. I think it's in the 38th year in the wilderness. And you got all the stories, of course, of Joshua and Caleb and the previous generation having passed away, all those things. But there's this little place that's so easy to gloss over where it says, it doesn't even tell you the historical account, but in somewhere along the way in that 38th year, they said they had a song that they sang. And it was, the people or the princes have dug wells now for the people. And this is a proverb that they would sing in a song. And it's a little throwaway thing. But when you look at that, you go 38 years in, the leaders, the princes finally learned what it looked like to lead the people.
Wow.
And you're going, oh my goodness. They got to the place where not you people go do this, but we're going to do this to enable you to be able to do this. And so there was some radical shift in how the people were led in the wilderness. And then 2 years later, they're in the Promised Land. They still have to fight in the Promised Land.
Right.
But, that to me, that was one of the when you read it, you're like, oh, yes, Joshua and Caleb are part of being the catalyst and the passing away of the older generation, but also this transformation in how things were being done on a leadership level was another catalyst for them entering into the Promised Land.
So
the princes served the people.
Yeah, that's so good. Wow, we need that again, don't we? God, give us that.
Yeah, we do.
We really do.
It's true. So, okay, we'll see. We've got a couple of these dreams here we're going to get to because we're running out of time. Let's see. We'll do Victoria Vogels. Victoria Vogels. Hello. I had a dream about Queen Elizabeth. It seemed we shared a grandchild, and it was the grandchild's birthday. When Queen Elizabeth arrived at the birthday party, she came straight to me and wanted to talk. She wanted to talk for a while. The color of the child's shirt was turquoise, and I believe it was a male grandchild. End of dream. I like this dream. I really like this dream. Let's see. I mean, turquoise is essentially blue.
Blue-green, yeah. With a bit of white.
Yeah, that's the artist in you. blue green with a bit of white, and the man in me it's blue.
Yeah.
Aaron would my wife would we've had this conversation on this live stream before about the shades of color, so we're not going to bring it up again.
Okay.
But Aaron would be on your side, Cherie,
Okay.
and so would all the women. Most of the people on this live stream would be on your side.
Yeah, God bless.
I know that because they already have told me that.
Well, I know Victoria, so why don't you go first? But hi, Victoria, nice to have you on.
Yeah, well, that it is Queen Elizabeth is, simply put, she's royalty, and the child who has a turquoise shirt is, and like how you said, blue green, the mix of blue and green and white. So this is the dream. One, Victoria, the dream's not about Queen Elizabeth, the dream's about you. Okay, so we get that out of the way right away. And what God is showing you is that the things in your family line, there are gifts in your family line to operate in prophetic, to grow and operate in a powerful, pure prophetic ministry. And so this child, well, oh my goodness, the Queen Elizabeth, the authority in the land, also has a grandchild, and the grandchild looks like we have the same grandchild. And so the things you've been given to do come from a place of authority, and there's an authority to proclaim prophetic declarations. This is turquoise, but but it requires some growth because it's green as well, and it's going to be mixed in with purity. And so there's a work to see this work out. There's a inner work to see this fully released in your life and in the life of your family.
It's beautiful. Yeah, there's a growth there too, and there's a celebration. So I think God is saying He's celebrating you.
Yeah, that's right.
The birthday party. Well, that was good, Josh. I love what you said, and that there's this ongoing, heaven's having an ongoing discussion with you about this.
Yeah.
And so I just, in intercession, I know you are a praying lady. Lord, I just release your delight over me, which is the birthday party. I receive that delight and enjoy that, and enjoy the legacy also that I believe He wants you to leave. So what are you growing, and what can you leave in the land? Yeah. And not everybody has positive dreams about monarchies, but this is a positive
dream. That's right. Yeah, this is a positive dream. Yeah, there's something beautiful that you share with, and this is the authority in the land. This is Queen Elizabeth is, one of the higher ups. So I'm just American, so I don't really know a whole lot about that stuff, but
we bless you anyway, Josh. It's fine.
You bless my ignorance.
well, you guys have stuff we can learn about too,
Yeah, there we go. That's right. Yeah.
So right. And each thing comes with its own challenges, and so
that's right. That's right.
Yeah. So it's not like no nation has it in a pure sense. We're trying to work out what the kingdom looks like in each of our nations.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, let's get on to Alvin's dream.
Alvin.
I had a dream. My wife and I were going across the U.S. and Canada border. We didn't have our passport or anything to cross. My wife reached back, got her passport. I realized I had my status card. We didn't have our proof of vaccine cards. Oh, these are the kind of dreams we get to work with now. But the border guard let us through. We got to the other side into the USA and were doing work, but I was worried how I was going to get back in without proper paperwork.
Okay, got a couple of questions.
Yeah,
is this a dream? Is this a vision? Or is this His soul, or is the Lord saying you're going to need to trust me for how you get around from now on?
I think I would go, that was like a boom mic drop moment, Cherie. That last one. You're going to need to trust me in how you get around from now on.
Yeah.
I've given you access and favor into places that you're not familiar with. And yeah, Karen has said uncertainty about your future. Yeah, there is a concern about what are things going to look like, and will we be able to get to the places we need to get to?
Yeah.
Will we be able to be in a place where we can call where getting back home, right? Will I be able to be in a place where I can call home? And all those questions that we have. And I think what Cherie said absolutely nails it, that you're going to need to trust me, God, not me, Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a dream beginning of last year. That was before the first nations went into lockdown. And in the dream, I had to step out of my van, which is the way I get around. And I had to throw this big yellow blow up like steering wheel cover into the sea and just trust God that he would bring it back. And isn't there's some scripture about throwing things in, but Elijah threw something in and something caused it to float again. So yeah, and I just knew that I was going to, during the tsunami in the dream that was coming, we weren't going to be able to travel the same way, and we're going to have to throw our hope onto the Lord about how we were going to get around. And I think we're still in that place at the moment. So it's that absolute conviction I had in the dream that it is going to work out, but we're going to have to wait on him for his timing. So I bless anyone that's listening to receive that hope, that you throw your future onto him and let him bring it back to you at the right time. He will cause it to rise again from the river, just like Elisha when he threw something in that would cause something to rise again that a man was using to work with. Yeah.
Right. Well, and just even further to what you're saying in the distinction between, she's got her passport, Alvin has his status card. I'm assuming he's referring to his First Nations card, which would give him access to the U.S. and Canada. And those are cards that they have all of your personal information, right? These represent who you are and what you can do and where you can go, right? The proof of vaccine cards, they just have one piece of information. This is what they've been saying in Canada anyway. If you have a proof of vaccination card, it's all it is the vaccination history. There's nothing else there, right? There's no your driver's license number isn't there, your health identification number isn't there, all those things. None of that stuff is there. So in the dream, he has all the cards that are his identity, that give him access into the places God has called him. But the concern is this one random one that doesn't have any actual information about who you are. Do I have the capacity? Do I have that one thing that will let me get in and out? Realistically, yes, you do. Because you have the scope of who you are is held in your status card and your wife holding the passport, symbolizing your identity and who you are. The proof of vaccine card is not a proof of who you are. And so Alvin, I would say that you are absolutely called to do the work that you're doing, and you don't need anything else to do it.
Wow.
And God has called you.
That's
and God
good.
has placed you. And again, putting the plans in his hands, that you might not have all the right paperwork, quote unquote, but you absolutely have the identity to do the things he's calling you to do. That's a good dream.
That's great. So what I do, even with praying that, Alvin, is just relax into the Lord. Say, thank you. I have what it takes. You have given me the cards I need to hold to play the hand that I've been given. And I have a full hand of cards. I have the right, and I trust you for everything else that I'm going to need.
That's, absolutely. I'm just looking at some of the comments here. David Boda, he's hunker in the God bunker.
Awesome.
Yes, and let me see.
Yeah, you were talking
Nikisha,
about hiding, weren't you? Yeah.
yeah, I did. I know. That was a reference to that. Nikisha, that in the book I wrote that was about how do we navigate the coming season to the church, when part of that whole prophetic word uh, about Baals and things like that. So if you go to the Wind Ministries website, you can purchase the book there. You can find it on Amazon as well, and you can find the printed version on Amazon, but not the ebook version. So it is. It's no small task to undertake getting your book ready for Amazon's Kindle app. So it's not ready for an ebook yet, but it is in paperback format, and you can get it in your local Amazon country, printed. Nikisha, if you're having problems tracking it down in the sense that Amazon doesn't deliver there, or because I know you are not in North America, just send me a message and we'll arrange to get something to you. So yeah, please send me a message. Don't let it go that, well, I just can't get it here, because as Alvin said earlier, I do really think it is a timely word for where we are and how we respond. That we need to understand that the Lord, his heart towards us never changes. His heart towards us is to lovingly draw us into who he is and communicate to that in that place who we are, and that never changes in our dynamic with the Lord. Now the seasons around us change in the sense of what's going on and how we respond to him, but God's heart towards us is always the same. He loves us, he accepts us, he draws us near, he speaks to us, he whispers to us and forms us in his image, all that stuff. So there's understanding that is absolutely crucial to walking this season out. So anyway, don't let if it's not available in your country, just let me know and I'll work something out with you, Nikisha. And what else we got here? We don't have enough time for another dream. And so I know a couple of you posted some dreams and sent dreams in, and I was just going through them. They were just too long for the time that we had here. So I had opted not to bring those ones up. So if your dream didn't get brought up, it was because of that. So do you have any parting thoughts for us, Cherie?
Well, I was just thinking about your hiddenness comment, and a number of people have had Noah's Ark dreams. And I was wondering if there was a connection between your thought about and your book about hiddenness, which I haven't read. And this.
You haven't read it, Cherie?
I'm so sorry. I will talk to you afterwards.
Just giving you a hard time. That's all.
Yeah, awesome. So, yeah, what do you think about that? Is there a sense of that correlation between coming into Noah's Ark and that sense of being with him?
Yeah, well, I think so. I think now we don't have time to get into it, but it is in the book, is one of the things that the issue of Elijah going into the wilderness again, because he'd been in the wilderness in the first place, right? He was in the wilderness for quite a number of years, ostensibly anyway, at least the better part of a year, being fed by ravens, waiting until the brook Cherith had dried up before he knew that it was time to leave the wilderness. And so he learns in the first bout of wilderness to exist on God, to be fed by God, to be moved by God. He learns in the second bout of the wilderness to not be moved by anything else.
Wow.
And that was a hard lesson for him to learn.
Yeah.
And that's the lesson of hiddenness. Is it's one thing to be moved by God, and that's beautiful, but it's quite another thing to not be moved by anything else.
Wow.
And the very first thing that happens when he goes into the wilderness is he compares himself to the people that went before him, I'm no good. I'm no better than my fathers.
Mm.
He goes, I'm all alone. No one else is out here for me. Even God has abandoned me.
The
You know,
victim mentality.
it's the victim mentality. Like you look
Yeah.
at the psyche of Elijah in that moment. And he is, I mean, he's a train wreck basically, because everything that's happened around him has influenced who he is. And then I'll just say this, okay? When and again, this stuff's in the book. When the Lord says, or when the scriptures say in First Kings that the wind comes and the Lord's not in the wind, the fire comes, the Lord's not in the fire, and the earthquake comes and he's not in the earthquake, but he's in the still small quiet, or the quiet whisper, the gentle whisper. All three of those manifestations he had just seen with Jezebel and the prophets of Baal. So he'd seen the wind come when he prayed that God would bring a storm, and it says the wind came and the storm started rolling in. He saw the fire come down and consume the rocks, so he saw the fire, and he saw the rocks visibly shaken by the fire. So he saw all three of them. And for him to sit there and watch all of those manifestations that were clear allusions to what had happened when God came and burnt the sacrifice on the altar, and to have God say, I'm not in all three of these, is a fascinating moment for Elijah.
Yeah.
Because Elijah's very first thing is, God, you were there in that incredible moment. You were there in the fire. You were there in the storm. And then the very next thing that happens is you're not there for me anymore. And the whole point is, Elijah, I don't meet you in those. I meet you in intimacy.
Yeah, that's so good.
I meet you in the heart. This is heart language, right?
That's so good.
And if you're constantly looking for Moses saw one burning bush. He didn't see a burning bush every day. But that burning bush was absolutely something that marked his life. If Elijah looks for the fire to come down from heaven every single day, he misses the tenderness of who God actually is.
Yeah.
And so anyway, lots of stuff happened to Elijah in his second bout in the wilderness. And it was necessary. The second bout in the wilderness for Elijah was necessary to launch him on the last phase of his ministry.
That is so good. And that is a word for people listening.
It's a word for people listening. Yes.
God wants to launch you, but you've got to take that time now.
Yeah.
This time is critical for where he wants to take you in the future. So what are you doing with the time that you're given now?
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. So, I mean, it is a prophetic word to this is the book, right? If you can see it, it's a prophetic word to the church right now. It's a word of how we walk through difficult seasons in general. So again, you can purchase it on the website, but the purchasing on the website is just because it costs money to print. So it's not, if you just message me, I will send you the book if you can't afford it. It's not about making money on the book. So you can find it on the Wind Ministries website. You can find it on Amazon. And I think it's very pertinent today, and it's still pertinent. It's going to be pertinent for years to come, because it's not, in case anybody hasn't noticed, it's not like things are getting easier. So,
yeah.
Yes, I think we still got a few years yet. I'm not saying with COVID, I just don't know. I'm not predicting anything with COVID. I just know the world is in a chaotic time right now, and that's not going away, tomorrow. So, okay, Cherie, can you pray over our little family here?
Yeah. Father, I just bless everybody at the sound of our voice, and I bless everybody listening and those that will listen in the future. Father God, I just call heaven's alignment over their life, for you to be able to hear his voice with more clarity, for you to be able to say yes more and more to what he's calling you to. I bless you with dreams and visions and spiritual experiences. I bless the vibrancy of heaven, you to be open to that more and more, for it to vibrate through your very being. I see color and clarity and the essence of heaven invading your life as you say yes more and more to him. I bless the word of God to come alive to you, and for that divine essence of the resurrection life of Christ to become more and more real to you, and more real than the storms around you, so that you would be able to stand, and having done all else, stand and be the vibrant life and light and presence of God that you were called and designed to be. In Jesus' name, I bless you.
Amen. Amen. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. And just a quick update on my dad is currently traveling across the United States. He's moving from California to Florida, and they packed all the stuff up and they're on the road now. So he should be back in a few weeks. But if you guys keep him in prayer, that would be wonderful. And we'll see him again. And we'll see Cherie again. Thanks so much, Cherie, for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
Okay, everybody. Until next time, next week. Bye.